Hello everyone. So today we're going to start talking about dog show as a whole, but also just how to start completing your guys' scratch board. So whether or not you're participating in dog show doesn't really matter. I just needed you guys to send me that photo of your animal pet. If you weren't able to send me one of yours, you guys should have looked up on Google and sent me just a generic one. So for instance, this is one that somebody had sent to me. So I'd printed it out and I'd cut it to the proper shape. And you notice, as soon as I get you guys have all these printed out, your first step is going to be, I'm going to hand you one of these and I'm going to gently write your name on the back so you guys can get it back to you. Then here's your guys' scratch board itself. So you see that it's kind of shiny, and I have this other material on top of it, and this is called carbon paper. So what carbon paper is basically just kind of like what they have on the inside of a pencil, just laid out on a sheet of paper. So I will lay this over top. I'll give you guys a little bit of tape, and I'm going to tape it on the top. You're going to hold it with your hand, and then any major outline that you see, so for instance the edge of her shoulder, some of these darker lines where she has this really cool patterning that's happening in the cat, her cheeks, her nose, any type of major line, I need you guys to trace with ballpoint pen. You guys can even do like the outer details in the background if you would like. If there's a lot, don't worry about them as much. So I'd go around the edges of her ear, top of her head, shadows, anything like that. I'm going to go get a major outline for. Once that's done, or you think that you're completed, come and bring it up to me and I'll double check. You notice that I never lifted up my hand off of here, and that's so that this doesn't swing back and forth and you have lines that are in incorrect places. So make sure that you guys are doing this all in one sitting. So again, once you have that complete, I'll pull that off, carbon paper off, and then it will look similar to the drawing that I did of my dog Luna. So here was mine because my picture was really teeny. So I drew it with the carbon paper underneath, and then you can kind of see it. So you can see those little black lines that are they're not shiny. Those are the outlines of mine. So I was able to do that, and I'm able to see my dog. Okay, so I started to carve out some of mine right in here, and these are just with the Scratchboard tools that we're going to be practicing with. So instead of just jumping right into your project, I'm going to hand you guys some test strips. Those little test strips will look like this, just a little strip. And then I want you guys to practice with some of the different types of tools we have. So the one that you're probably going to be working with the most is this guy right here. It kind of looks like a little spoon. So this little spoon is good for making teeny little marks, cross hatches, little teeny dashes for hair. This tool, it's got those little prongs on it, and it's not as wide as the one that's on the left over here. So these tools, it just creates those big huge white streaks. You can also go on the sides or cross hatch with them as well. The next tool that you can use, oops, wrong one, just creates one straight line, and it looks like that. So it goes like that, or you can do really fine lines if you go on this way. And the last tool that you guys are going to be using, this is the widest one, so it has lots of different little prongs on there, and it's also really good for doing fur, but I would highly suggest you do it with like longer fur, not the short fur. So that creates all these different types of lines. So when you guys are starting on your project, you finished your outline. I'll talk to you guys about patterning of fur in pictures, but basically what you're going to do is shorter hair obviously get shorter dashes, and if it's lighter, so that means you're actually going to be pulling away and creating more lines in that area, and it makes it end up looking whiter because you are slowly revealing the white of the paper that's underneath. So I'm going to put my picture over here so I can reference it, and then I just slowly but surely start pulling out all the lines that I need. So the top of her ear, like right in here, is lighter. You can kind of see it right in there. And that just means that I'm doing a lot more lines. If there's a lesser amount of lines, then I don't do as many. I'm also doing longer strokes or pulls if the hair itself is longer. If it's a shorter hair, then I need to do a shorter line. So at the bottom, they're going to be a little bit shorter. And up here, they're a little bit longer. That was how it was with her. So you're just going to have to look at your picture and actually determine how thick or thin or how long they are. Okay, if you guys have any other questions, just please feel free to let me know, and then I'll be able to help you guys out. Thank you guys for watching.